Yes, everybody. The Euros have kicked off. Are you excited? England take on Serbia tomorrow, 8 p.m. kickoff, Father's Day. And obviously, we've got a representative in the England squad, Mr. Jarrod Bowen. But it got me thinking, and it's something we've done before. West Ham have had a smattering of players who have represented their country, represented England rather, while wearing the claret and blue. Most recently, obviously, Jarrod Bowen, before that, Declan Rice. But it doesn't happen very often. I think we've had 44 players who have played for England whilst playing for West Ham. Not a lot, is it? In our 100 and something year history. So what I want to do is actually concentrate on why. And actually the reason why is we've got players who are too good for England. So that's what we're going to go through today. We're going to go for the 30 players who are too good for England. And for this, we're not talking about the likes of Marlon Harewood. We're not going to talk about Kevin Nolan, Ian Pearce, Graham Paddon, amongst many, many others. But we have, as I said, we've got a list of 30 players who have never played for England. So what we've done is taken all the appearances, of all the first team appearances at West Ham, and stripped out anyone who played for England, stripped out anyone who's not eligible to play for England, and created a list. So it's in appearance order, apart from one player who I've bumped up into the top 3. I think he deserves it. So number 30, Harry Redknapp. So obviously H was our manager through arguably our longest prolonged success in the Premier League in the late 1990s, early 2000s. But he obviously played for West Ham many, many times. 175 first team appearances for West Ham, 8 goals. He played under 18s for England, but never turned out for the senior side. Number 29, Stuart Slater. See you later. Love Slate's friend of the channel. Been on very recently actually. Slate's played England under 21 level. He also played England B level, which was still in existence way up until, I want to say 2007, 2008. He made 180 first team appearances for West Ham, scored 18 goals, but didn't get a single one for the Three Lions. Number 28, Eddie Bovington. Love Eddie, such a lovely man. Made 184 appearances for West Ham, scored 2 goals. You see in that picture, you've got Sir Jeff right at the back. You've got Martin Peters, Bobby Moore. But unfortunately, Eddie never wore the same shirt in the England squad, just the West Ham squad with them. Number 27, Jack Burkett. Again, a lovely man. Spent many hours talking to him. Undefeated at Wembley, he tells me, every time I speak to him. He made 185 appearances for West Ham, scored 4 goals, but he didn't turn out at Wembley wearing the England shirt, just the West Ham shirt. Number 26, Paul Brush. Paul made 186 appearances for the club, scored a single goal, but never wore the Three Lions in his West Ham career, even with that lovely hairstyle. Number 25, Matty Effrington. Matty represented England in under 16s, 18s, under 20s and under 21s. He also made 195 appearances for West Ham, scored 18 goals, including that double in the Ipswich semi-final, as we all remember. But not once did our flying winger ever get a call-up for England. Number 24, Paul Allen, part of the 1980 FA Cup winning side. Also, the youngest player ever to play in the FA Cup final at the time. He played England under 21 level. He also made 197 first team appearances at West Ham, scored 11 goals, but didn't get a solitary appearance for the Three Lions. Number 23, he's here, he's there, he's everywhere. It's John Moncur. 203 appearances for Monks, 9 goals. When we interviewed Monks, he actually mentioned how Glenn Hoddle wanted him at Chelsea when he left Ipswich, but chose West Ham instead. Maybe that had something to do. Maybe Glenn had a grudge against him and never picked him for England when he was England manager. But particularly in the early time of his career, when he was highly revered for his technical ability, never managed to get an England call up though. Number 22, Mark Ward, obviously part of the boys of 86, 209 appearances, 14 goals, but not a single shirt ever for England did he wear. Our ferocious winger, Waldy was, but never did get the call up. Number 21, Hayden Mullins, 213 appearances, which is a lot. 7 goals. He represented England under 21 level, but never turned out for the senior side. Number 20, Trevor Morley. Trevor made 214 appearances for West Ham. He scored 7 goals, but didn't score or make an appearance for England during his time at West Ham, even with that beautiful hair. Number 19, David Cross, the original Psycho. 224 appearances, 97 goals, but not 1 goal for England, which is so surprising. During that time, he never even got 1 call-up. Number 18, Mad Dog himself, Martin Allen. Martin made 232 appearances for West Ham, scored 35 goals. He, in his early career, he played the under-21 level for England, but never made the senior side. Number 17, Alan Dickens. Good old Dicko. Love the man. He's such a sweet guy. He played under 21s for England. Went on to make 243 appearances for West Ham, but not a single one for England, sadly. Number 16, Merv the Swerve. 237 appearances for West Ham, but not a single one for England. How surprising is that? Number 15, Pop Robson. Pop played under 23s in his early career. 255 appearances, 104 goals. We've interviewed Crossy and Tony Cottee, who say what an influential role model he was for them in their sort of development into football. But not once did he put on the 3 lines during his career at all. Number 14, Kevin Keane. Kevin, 278 appearances for West Ham, 30 goals, obviously heavily involved in the academy setup once again, which is fantastic. But he didn't manage to wear the England shirt. How come? I don't get it. Number 13, Tim Breaker, the robot himself. He played under 21s for England and made 296 appearances, scored 8 goals. But again, how did he never play for England? I think it's because he had a crossed hammers on his shirt. Number 12, Georgie Parish. Georgie played England schoolboys when he was a schoolboy, obviously. He made 298 appearances for West Ham, scored 18 goals. Would be perfect for a tournament player because of his diversity in terms of how many different positions he could play, but he never got called up once. Number 11, Patty Holland. Patsy played 103 times for West Ham's first team, scored 32 goals, but despite making all those appearances and scoring those goals, not once did he get called up for England. Number 10, Bish Bosh himself, Ian Bishop. Ian made England B team. He played in the B team a couple of times. He played 304 times for West Ham, scored 17 goals, but never turned out for England. Never turned out. Number 9, John McDowell. England under 23s he made, but never for the first team. 305 first team appearances for West Ham, 9 goals, and even with that hair, he never got a call up for the full England side. Number 8, Ronnie Boyce. Ronnie made 341 appearances in his time at West Ham, scored 29 goals, but Dicker never got called up to the main side at all in terms of the senior side for England. Number 7, Jeff Pike. Pikey, part of the 1980 FA Cup winning side, part of the boys of the 86 squad, 368 appearances, 41 goals, ever reliable, but never did he get a call up for the Three Lions. Number 6, Tony Gale. Reg played England under 21s. He made 368 appearances for West Ham, scored 7 goals, but didn't turn out for the Three Lions ever. How? I never know. Number 5, John Bond. John made almost 449 appearances during his time at West Ham, scored 39 goals, but not once did he get the call up to wear the Three Lions. Number 4, Steve Potts. Potsy, 506 appearances in all, 1 goal, as we all know, against Hull City. but he didn't get a call up for England or even the USA really at the same time. But we just concentrate on England so far. Number 3, Julian Dix. Now, Julian's the one I've bumped up a little bit. He only made 326 appearances for West Ham, scored 65 goals, played England under 21s, played for England B team as well. And when we interviewed Julian, he told us all that that John Gorman at the time, Glenn Hoddle's assistant manager at England, told him if he shaved his head, he wouldn't play for England. And as you can see, he shaved his head. But he would have made a fantastic player for England. And it would have been interesting to see who took the penalties when it came to any penalty shootouts or something with England. Number 2, Mark Noble. How hasn't this man ever played for England? He played for England under 16, 17, 19, 20s and 21s. But never did he wear the full England shirt. Even in that final season at the Bowling, when he was arguably the best English midfielder in the Premier League. So those crossed hammers. And number 1, Billy Bonds. We all know about Billy. 799 appearances, 61 goals. Was called up once, but got injured. And before he could sort of meet up with the side and make a debut. But not once did he play for England either. Unbelievable. When you look at some of the other players around the time who were making appearances, how he never got into the first team for England, I don't know. And that's the list. And that is the list. Some very good players in there who were too good for England. They're just too good for England. And then what we will do, we'll probably do the list later on next week of every player who's played for England whilst playing for West Ham. I've got the list ready. Needs to be updated. Got to add Jared Bowen. There's only been one extra since the last time I did that list, sadly. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a like. Give it a lick. Give it a lick. Give it a lick. Give it a like, man. Sort yourself out. And yeah, take care. Stay safe. Stay warm. Stay humble. Keep the faith. And come on, you bloody Irons. And come on, England.